Today is Sunday, the 3rd of October, 1990. No, it isn't. It's 2010. I'm thinking it was 1990 because that's the day of the Reunification of Germany. Germany is 20 years old today. Modern Germany is 20 years old today. This here is Chemnitz, and it's like many of my films, it's in a motorway stopping station. I have just spent the night here. I arrived at just after 9 and I woke up at 7, so I slept almost 10 hours, which is very rare for me. I usually sleep much less than that. Coming back to the subject of Germany, there's going to be big parties today. I'm just thinking, do I really want to go to one? I'm not really much for street parties and all the rest of it, but I saw them being prepared yesterday in a place called Modlareit, and Modlareit was noted for being a little Berlin. It was a village with the wall stuck right through the middle, and so I was there yesterday, and you can see that in another film. It seems a bit strange in some ways that the unification still is something that hasn't really entirely sank in, as I do remember what it was like before, travelling. The first time I travelled through, in fact it was 1982, last time I travelled through Germany was in 1990, so it was 8 years. Or just under, I should say. The first time, distinctly recall August 82, the way that the border opened, the train went in, then you had soldiers on the platform. That time it wasn't much of a control. Then it went on to Berlin. Before it came in, the train just moved normally. But then in East Berlin, all of these Soviet, it seemed to me at the time, soldiers, maybe it wasn't, maybe they were East Germans, but I think it must have been East Germans, to be quite honest, standing at the platform, holding with the Kalashnikovs at the ready, and that was my first recollection. When you actually went through East Berlin, you had to go to Friedrichstrasse, and there would be a long queue of people waiting to leave, all of them old. I stood in this queue, maybe 100 or so people in it. As I recall, there was only 3 of us there who were under 65. The other 2, I think there was 2 people from Poland. I remember one girl who I was talking to. And she was going to West Berlin or somewhere. That was the first time I did that. I think it was October 82, if I remember rightly. I'm not entirely certain. Got the train from Gdynia to Berlin-Lichtenberg. But what you did is you had to go through a one-way corridor. First control was the normal sort of passport, so a brief glance, cursory look and all the rest of it. Then you had to go through the looking what you had on you, which was a bit more complex, and the final thing, you had to go through the corridor. It was very difficult. We had a backpack on to actually get down it, and I mean, if anybody'd been fat or anything, then really they'd have had difficulty. Then the guard himself, the person who was checking your passport in quite some detail, he himself couldn't get out. He couldn't get into the corridor because it was blocked from his end. And then he opened the door electronically, and you went out, and you were in this railway station. Effectively, it was still East Germany. You were in West Berlin because it was only for people from the west who were travelling from there. And there was the height, and you can still see them in the railway station. You can see the guard rails. Well, you could last time I was there. They were still up at a distance where the guards actually stood, but they couldn't get down. was quite well designed. And the last time I went through, everything was open. Quite interesting to think about it now. Anyway, so 20 years on, and happy birthday Germany. 20 today. I also remember when I was 20, but that's another story.